Hello,
Morning, Ariel. How are you?
good.
Missed you yesterday.
Sorry,
I said we missed you yesterday at the Eula.
you went?
Of course, of course.
How was it?
It was very nice. It was very nice.
Okay,
It was very nice. They did a very good job in organizing it, and it was a little long, but okay.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to know the Daf?
What's that?
You want to know the Daf?
The Daf. Yeah.
Which Daf is it?
I'll tell you in a second.
No, no,
Should be
I'm,
Chafes.
I'm joking. Look at my screen.
Oh, it's 8:22. Okay, I was gonna. That was my next question. What is that?
Yeah.
Is your favorite football player? Yeah, Ernie was there last night.
Yeah, he said he was going to be.
Yeah.
I think Walter was going to go also.
Walter was also there. Yeah, a few other people.
Many people.
Yeah, it started off a little schwach,
Hmm.
not so exciting, but then it sort of filled in very fast.
Okay.
It was very nice. We have some company from Israel. They're staying with us, so
Yeah.
we took them there, and they were very impressed.
Hmm.
Very impressed with the youth,
Yes.
young people that were involved, which was very nice, actually.
No, but they give us a nice organization.
No, but they really executed professionally. It was
Hmm.
quite nice. Quite good.
Okay.
But we're going to finish this Masechta, I guess not today, but Sunday maybe.
Sorry?
When are we going to finish this Masechta?
It should finish today, but we're not. I think
No,
it, I think it's today,
what?
right?
No, I think tomorrow is the official day.
Tomorrow. And then we go to Shavuos, no?
Yes,
Hmm.
it starts on Shabbos.
So we are two blood, well,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, two blood included. It's three, but today we're gonna be two. So tomorrow we're gonna be one.
And Shabbos you'll finish.
But what he does many times, he does the last one of the Masechta. First he does the new one, and he does the last one of the Masechta to cover and finish it.
Well, we still have Sanhedrin
I
that we
know, I
haven't
told
finished.
you that. I don't think he even remembers.
Really?
I'm sure he does, but
I'm sure.
I don't know if he's gonna finish it. Unless when we do a film of a few Masechtas, he will finish the last one of Sanhedrin,
And Marcus.
and then, well, Makkos he will finish on Shabbos, I'm sure.
But he could not finish it. He could just wait to do the last mission or you see him.
Yeah. No, he
Anyways,
doesn't. No, for the
no?
siyum, he leaves the last 3 or 4 lines.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Okay. Anyways, time will tell.
yeah. Walter,
Hello, Mario.
Hello, Walter.
you want
Hi,
to
how are
know?
you, Abe?
You want to know the blood?
What?
You want to know which blood we are? Which daf?
I don't see the 22. I can't see properly.
You're blind as a bat.
Don't say that, God forbid. Very fancy you've become lately, Mario.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how was everything today? Good?
Yep.
Chag Sameach.
How did you enjoy yesterday, Walter?
Yes, that was. Were you there?
You were
You
there
were there,
You
right?
were there last night. No? How did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I thought it was very well moving and very good. How about you?
I thought it was really nice. Really nice.
Hello?
I have these two couples from Israel, and they were so impressed with the whole program, and especially the young people that were involved. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's very nice. B'nai Kiva does a great job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where's our fearless leader, this fearless leader of ours?
I don't know. He's the one who wanted to do it
Yeah,
early.
Russia home and then I
Where is Harold? Out of town?
have no idea.
Hmm.
Let me call Ernie, see where he is. I don't know. Wait
Okay.
another
2 minutes. Where is George? Disappeared.
Was George here?
I'm signing on right now.
Okay.
I'll take a look.
I give up. Right now it's 2 minutes by him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Thank you, Walter, for calling me. I just finished the deposition, so I was just taking a little break. Okay. We're on 22, Chav Beis. Afi Kavar, we said 2 Averas and Yontivs only counts as 1. So, because there was a case where you got 5 sets of Malchus. What's the 5th case? It can't be Havara. So, Afi Kavar, Vayel Gida Nosha Shol Nevela. When he ate the Gida Nosha, it was a Gida Nosha of a Nevela animal. So you get the Aver, you get Malchus for Gid, as well as Nevela. But the Gemara doesn't like this either, because Vatani Rabchia Loikesh Shtaim al Achilaso, Visholosh al Bishulo. Rabchia summarized and said 2 for eating, 3 for cooking. But if it's for eating, Gida Nosha Shal Nevela would be V'isa Sholosh al Achilaso Uchayv. It would be 3 for eating, not 2 for eating. El Ofik Havar V'ayel Atze Ashera. That is, remember we're talking about when he plowed a certain field and he used Atzei Ashera, wood from a Ashera tree, which you're not allowed to use. Vazarta mehacha, where's the lav? Because it says, V'lo yidbak biyadcha me'ulam en acherim, that you may not have enough from Avodah Zarah. Amar Ravacha b'rei Rav Ashi, v'lilki nami mishum lo savi so eva el beisecha. There's a lav for using an Ashera tree. Elach maskin kon shabish lo b'atzei hegdish. You used wood that was donated to Hegdish. Shenem of Ashrehem tisrufum ba'esh. An Asherah tree needs to be burnt, but lo sasu ken l'Hashem lokechem. You may not destroy davar shabikdusha, and here you destroyed something from kedusha because you used atzei Hegdish to cook. Simin shanvoy shanaz, which are this. Wait a minute. Remember the next sugyas. Maski flor ravoshaya. How come you didn't include v'lichshav nami azoyreg benachaleson? There is a lav that if you had a dead body between two cities, and you measure to the closest city, and you have to bring an egla rufa and decapitate a calf, and where you do it, that area around the river you can't plant there. There's a lav. It says, "V'ridu ziknei ha'ir ha'yas ha'glal nachaletan, asher lo yaved bav lo yizareh." It can be an area that cannot be worked in the future. After the arifa, you can't work there anymore. And therefore, he plowed. Why don't we include that as a lav? And maskar of chanina v'lichshav nami hamoichekas Hashem balicha. So let's say there was the name of Hashem written in the ground, and you wiped it out as you were plowing. Vazartem me'achav ibartem et shmam. You should destroy the names of Avodah Zarah v'lo sasun ken l'Hashem lokechem, but don't do that to the name of Hashem. Maskil Ravo v'lichshav nami koitzitz b'haraso. While you were doing it, you cut off a nega on your baheres. Vazartem me'acha yishar me'benega tzaras. Maskil Abai v'lichshav nami mezech hachosh me'al ephod. You're not allowed to remove the choshen from the ephod and a maser badei aron. Or if you remove the staves of the aron, because it says betabos aron yabadim lo yasur mimenu, and v'lo yizach hachosh me'al ephod. Maskiv lo Ravashi v'lichshav nami achorish batzei Ashera. The plow itself was made from the wood of Atzei Ashera. V'azarta me'acha v'lo yidbad bi'acha me'ulam me'acherim. Master Ravina v'lichshav nami hakoitzitz ilonis toivos. You're not allowed to cut down fruit trees. Don't cut down a fruit tree. He said, I'm going to take an oath not to plow on Yontif. The Gemara says that's not an oath. It was not chal. We took an oath at Arsina. But it could work. I take an oath I'm not going to plow either on chol or the migu shechal of shvua b'chol chal of nami b'yontif. That's an Isser Kolo. So it's an additional Isser. So Mida Disa B'Shela Loktani. So the reason the Mishnah didn't mention that one is because a law that could be gotten rid of by going to a Chacham, being Matir Neder, we don't include. Frankly, more low. Barei Hektish. One of the affairs was he plowed with animals of Hektish. You can go to a Chacham and undo that. So the Gemara says, yeah, the Hektish we're talking about is a B'chor. It was born a B'chor. You can't ask a Chacham to undo that. Varei Nazir. One of the things we said was the Nazir. And you can go to a Chacham to get rid of that. The Nazir Shimshon. You cannot be Matir Nazir Shimshon forever. But the Gemara says Nazir Shimshon bar itmi lemesimu. The Naziris of Shimshon does not prevent you from being Matamil Nesim. So that has to be thrown out. Ella. Another reason why we don't include the lav of a shvuah is because Shaitana is Isser Kola Leslie. He doesn't believe that even if it's an Isser Kola, an additional Isser, that Isser Chalal Isser doesn't chal if it's only an Isser Kol. It has to be an Isser Moisif. Amar Rav Yishaya. Hamarbir Shor Psul Mikdoshim. You mate an ox with another type of animal of not of its same species that is a hegdish that became puzzle. There's still a mixas kedusha because you can't work it. Loike shnayim. You worked psula mikdoshim and koyim. You're not allowed to mate two species. Otherwise, a kamanig b'shor psula mikdoshim. Plow with an ox that was hegdish loike sharei guf echadu. That's all because of kishnei gufim. It's considered in some respects chol, and respects in other respects hegdish. Therefore, you'd get two malkin. Malkin oisoi arboim chosrachas. You get 39 malkin. In Emar, the kaulu fanav kedevi shaso b'mispar, arbaim yaker lo yosif. And we darshan it that the beginning, b'mispar and arboim, the mispar arboim minyan shu samach l'arboim. We're talking about the number that's closest to 40, which is 39. You don't remember arboim shleimus uloka. You get 40. Okay. Veichanu loke. Veichanu loke say is seira. Where's that extra one go? Because you divide everything into 3, 13, 13, 13. What about the last one? Bank tefa. You do it between his shoulders. Now, the doctors have to estimate how many blows he can tolerate. Ein ondimoso, ela b'makos hareuyos lishtalish. The number has to be divisible by 3. So if it's 8, if they think it's only 20, you bring it down to 18 because 20 is not divisible by 3. Amdu l'kabel arboim. Let's say the doctor said he could get 40. The loika makes it. They only got a little bit. The andu shein yachol l'kabel arboim, and then they said, "Oh, we can't give him more." Potter. He doesn't. You don't have to give him any more. Amdu l'kabel shmonasar. The doctor said he could take 18. Umishalaka andu sheyachol l'kabel arboim. You don't. After getting 18, they saw that he was doing fine. Oh, you can get 40. We don't give him extra. We stop by the 18. Now, my timer, where did we come up with 39? Iksiv arboim b'mispar, havamina, arboim b'minyan. I would have said it's exactly 40. Hashta d'chsiv b'mispar arboim, minyan shu sukam es arboim. It's a count that is completed with 40. So 39, then 40. Look how foolish the other people are. Sefer Torah. These people stand up for a Sefer Torah, but they don't stand in front of a Talmud Chacham. The Sefer Torah says 40. The Chacham came and reduced it by 1. So you see, a Talmud Chacham is greater than the Sefer Torah. Rav Yehuda Omer Arboim Shleimus. Not 39, 40. Rav Yitzchak, my time at Rav Yehuda to see. It says in Zechariah, Ma makus ha'ele ben yadecha, v'omar asher ikasi beis ma'avai. Sometimes a person will have marks on his back because of the malchus. And that you get another one in between the shoulder blades, which is where Rav Yehuda said, you get the last one. What did Rabbanan do with that pasuk? The Rebbe is giving a patch to the children. That's not have to do with Malchus and Beis. Then the Mishnah said, in Ondin Abu Makkos Arius Lishtalish. You only give Malchus that it can be divided by 3. And then if they change their estimate, we always give them the least. So, laka in, but in low, laka low. If he hasn't gotten any malchus, then they don't pater him from the 40. V'riminu. Amdula kabbalah boy. The doctor said he could tolerate 40. But then later on, chazru v'amdu shen yoch l'kabbalah boy. Then they said he can't tolerate 40. Potter. Amdu l'kabel shmona asar, or initially the first evaluation they said 18. Because of Amdu shech l'kabel arboim, we say potter. That's even without malchus. They can change. Rav Sheshes loy kasha. Hasham do biyoimi. It means that day they said he could get so many, and nothing changed that day. They just realized that their first estimation was incorrect. So there it's only if he got malchus, he's potter, but not malchus. We go after the second estimation. Hasham do l'machar v'liyoma uchrei. They made an estimation for next couple of days. Maybe things have changed. And now, if it changed, he can become potter legaver. Over aver sheish b'shnei lavim. He was choirish b'shur.
I don't understand. So if they make an estimation and then they change their mind and he didn't get any malchus, he doesn't get any malchus?
No, they change their mind, they give him less.
No, but they give him less and then they change their mind again. So then he's potter. That's what it seems.
Here's the halacha in Sefer Rambam. Each nischayv malchus. V'amdu tchila shiach lekabel kol ha'machlos shenischayv. They initially thought he could get the full amount. Uvetoch shikar, now they gave him. Rao shein yachol lekabel ein makim oso. Then they stopped, and he's potter from the rest of the malchus. If they estimated, let's say, only 20, and as they're hacking him, they see that he could give more, we don't give him more. So that's the first part. That's simple. Now, today, they were going to give him malchus today, and they said he can only take 12. And they didn't give him malchus until the next day. But when they looked at him the next day, he looked healthier. They said he could get 18. No, we go after their first estimation, only 12. Does that answer your question? Even without malchus. They looked at him, they do an examination, they fill the examination. First day they thought he could get 12. They thought he could get 12. Then the next day they looked at him, no, he can get 18. We don't increase what they gave him. We go after the first amoda. Now, let's look at the other way. Let's say they said tomorrow he can get 12. And then on the following day, they gave him malchus, and they saw that he could take more. You can give him more based on that day. That's how the Rambam understands Rav Sheshes.
Yeah. No, I've got the halacha. It's a little. The halacha is it's over here. I get it. But it's strange that it can vacillate. Once they can go, if he's capable of taking more, they can give more.
Based on a physical exam.
Yeah. No, but also the ones that once you gave him, once you said he's only getting 12, you can go more than 12.
Can't go more, because we're lenient.
And so I understand, but the Rambam understands that if the next day he feels better and it looks better, he can give him more.
He looks better, and they didn't give him malchus.
They didn't give him any.
Then you can give him more. Only then. Over aver sheish bo shnei lavim. You plowed with a shor v'chamor in klaya keren. So you have 2 lavim. Amdu oimed echad. They make one estimation how much he can get total. He can only get 50, right? And then loika. And then potter, then he doesn't get 2 sets. Now the imlav, let's say they only did an estimation for one of the crimes, loika or misrapa. Then you give him malchus, he gets better, and then later on you give him the second set. So the first case is where they did a calculation for the 2 malchus at one time. We don't do it. That which we said we don't do it for 2 lavim is sha'amdu l'arboim v'chada. They said, for example, he can tolerate 41. That there's a sheer malchus sholem, because 39 plus 2 is nothing. 3 would be a full set, right? because it's got to be divisible by 3. So if they would have said 42, so that's technically 2 sets, 1 full set of 39 and 3, but they did 41, which is 39 plus 2. That's not considered anything. You only give them 39. And that therefore you only got 1 set of malchus. And therefore, you give him 1 for 39, and you wait until he heals. And then we do another amoda regarding the second lav. Ha is Shamdul Arboim V'Tarti. The beginning part of our mission, where he actually gets credit for 2, is because they said 42. So it's 39 plus 1 set of 3, and it's a full set. And he patters his malchus. Now, Kate said malkinoisoi. How did they do malchus? Koifish teyoda v'la omud. They tie his 2 hands together on a pole. Hilich v'hilich. V'chazna knesses, the shamish, oiches bivgodav, grabs onto his clothes. Im nikru, if they tear Torah. Vim niframu, if they shredded niframu. Atra magalas libo, he opens his chest. V'ha'even nesuna ma'acharav. The shamish stands on the stone behind the guy. And then the chazana knesses, oimed alav rutzrubiyad. The chazana has the whip made out of leather. Shel egel, kfula, double. Echad l'shnayim u'shnayim la'arba, like it's 4 ply. U'shtei ritzu shel chamor oilis v'yordos. And they're on the sides, there's like from a donkey. Yada, there's a handle, tefach. V'rechava tefach. The whip itself is a tefach wide. Rosha magas al pi kreso. That means when he hits him on the back, the top of it should hit his stomach as well. Umako so shlish milfanov. 1/3 he gets hacked in front on his breast. Ushte yados 2/3 milachrov on his back. Veinamakeo tolo omid v'lo yoshev. He's not standing or sitting elamuta. He's sort of bent over. Shenemar ipilu ashofet. You sort of push him down. The one who's doing it, one of it is he hits it as hard as he can. If you don't follow, Hashem will make it wondrous. Then they go back and do it again in Lo Sishmor Lasso. If he dies, Potter. Beis Din told him to do it, so he's not chayiv. But if by accident he gave him 1 extra patch, he goes into golus like a rotzech bishgaga. Niskalkel. If he goes to the bathroom because he can't control himself, bein berei, whether it's stool, bein b'mayim, or whether it's urine, potter. Because v'nikla, he's embarrassed, and that is already embarrassed. Oimer ha'ish berei, the man has to become incontinent of stool. The isha b'mayim, a woman with urine. Okay.
Tomorrow?
This is scary stuff. You don't want to get Malchus, boy.
No, we don't.
You see what?
But by the way, Walter, the same thing. It was very rare to give Malchus to.
Huh?
We talked about capital punishment. It was pretty rare to give Malchus to.
Right, you needed.
What about tomorrow, Yanni?
You needed the same thing, Adim and Asra. It was also not that common. Maybe it was more common than Misa, but it was also not that common. Tomorrow of 4:30.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Kaya.